Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. So this is going to be Dan's message and outfitting, which is two missions combined because we're going to be entering the majesty that is Wellsprings. And I come over here to Jura Hagar, which is a fucking awful name that rhymes, and he wants you to do a time trial, but I'm not going to be messing about with any of this shit. You can do it if you want, it will give you... it's probably needed for achievements and things like that, but I'm not going to go into that stuff seeing as how my guide isn't related. But you don't have to come in here, this is just what I did. We're going to be taking a message to a new town and being introduced to a bunch of new characters. So while this is all happening, I'm going to talk about some other stuff because there's a few mechanics I need to explain to smoothen out some details for people. And there's a couple of stuff to be aware of. In this guide, I've already mentioned I won't be building the sentry turrets. The reason for that is they take pretty much the same ingredients as the sentry bots, and the sentry bot is 10 times better in almost every conceivable way. The turrets get knocked over in about one punch, and they're just like on Portal. Once they get knocked over, they panic and they do fuck all, so you don't want to waste your crafting items on them. The sentry bots, on the other hand, are something I don't use that frequently through the game, but towards the end I decide to do it because I have it and I know the game's coming to a close. And they are the most overpowered thing on this game. If you get a bunch of those stocked up, you will never die, because not only do they distract enemies, but they take a beating and they give out a beating too. They will kill all sorts of things for you. They are really, really handy. There is one problem with them that pisses me off to high heaven. Unfortunately, when you summon them in, they're like Clip City. So, for instance, if you summon one, you run forward and there's a dude who's kicking your ass and you go to backtrack, you will actually run into a brick wall. There's that stupid spiders behind you and it won't move. And I've got wedged by them. I've got into all kinds of real bad situations because of clipping. And it's a pain in the ass, so you just need to be aware of this. And especially if you're backtracking, just on the game in general. For some reason, the enemies, when they want to, will be able to pin you into walls and things, and other times they'll run completely through you as if clipping's turned off, and it makes no sense whatsoever. But it's kind of annoying. Collision detection is completely anus. And I should really talk about these areas. When you are driving through these first few areas, you're going to come up against bandits in cars, and they're an absolute pain in the ass unless you have guns to take them down. And early on, they're nothing. They will die very quickly. They will have nothing that can damage you too bad. They're really, really easy. But towards the end of the game, they become legitimately challenging. They become really strong. And a level 4 car with that plasma cannon is easily the most damaging enemy of the game. It's unbelievably tough. If you're on foot and you get hit by it, it's an instant kill. And there is nothing on this game that can kill you as quick as that. It's just stupid, and they seem to spawn from nowhere, and they take a ton of rockets. They're a pain in the ass, and a real cool strategy to avoid them if you have the cash is to call in the tow truck service, which is pretty much like fast travelling with a price, because it will instantly transport your vehicle and repair it. So it does cost depending on how knackered your car is, but it is the only way to fast travel through the environment. So bear that in mind if you ever get stuck. It's a super cool strategy to skip those stupid driving bits if you don't like them. But this is the entrance to Wellspring, and this is another guy that likes to talk. It doesn't say anything of remote substance, so just ignore him. And what you're going to be introduced to in this place is two different mission givers and a mission board, which is the job board. One mission giver is the sheriff, the other one is the mayor. And I actually thought that only the mayor's missions would be, you know, paramount to the story, and once you did them, you'd be able to continue the story. I was wrong. You have to do both the sheriff's and the mayor's mission before you can progress the storyline, so it doesn't matter what order you do them in, you have to do all of each. So that's kind of gay. And this is Wellspring, so this is a really cool, really imaginative little town. It's clearly inspired, you know, by the likes of Borderlands and Bartertown and pretty much every post-apocalyptic world you've ever come to. This is the mayor, a lovely caricature, some pretty great animations, and he's going to send you off on numerous jobs, but I'm not going to talk about this because it's obvious you're going to be doing it yourself, and it's very simple. It is real simple, actually. Couldn't get simpler. We give him the message, we go and get a new outfit, and I'll show you where the outfitters are. So instead, I'm going to talk about the new South Park. Any of you guys see it? I know I did, and I am so glad the hiatus is over, because there's nothing more exciting than when you hit September and all the new shows are starting, so every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something good is on. Something's good to watch. And South Park is no different. And the last episode of this season left it in kind of dire straits. There was, Randy and Sharon had broken up. They were getting a divorce. Stan thought everything sounded shit and pretty much fractured his friendship with the rest of the guys. And it was in a bit of a shit spot. I didn't know how they were going to recover it, and if I'm completely honest, the strategy that they used in the most recent episode, which is called Asperger's, which is a lovely play on the word Asperger's, is kind of lame. It's a bit of a cop-out, but it's still pretty funny. And the episode itself is not the best, but there are a couple of really funny moments. Like, Stan keeps waking up in the morning, and because everything sounds like shit, the people on the radio just keep making fart noises. And I must admit, in the episode before, the fart noises got really old really quick, but for some reason, I was just in a really childish mood, and it was making me laugh a ton. Especially when it took the piss out of Terra Nova, because I actually downloaded that program and tried it out because I missed it when it aired. And I watched the first episode, which was an hour and a half long, and it just didn't grab me. The special effects were just garbage, even though everybody told me they were great, and it just wasn't that interesting, really. By the way, I choose the Roughneck because it enables you to take more damage. I don't know if that has any real precedence on the game, but that's the one I've always chose. But it wasn't a great TV show. I didn't enjoy it. I'd probably watch it, but that doesn't mean I'll enjoy it, because I'm like that. I'm kind of stubborn that way. I'll watch anything, really. And then on South Park, it's like, a new TV show puts both Jurassic Park and Lost in the same fucking show, and it's shit. And it was just so apt, because I just finished watching that program, and the way they do it with the fart noises is so silly, but it caught me off guard big time. And it's just this whole plot of Kyle not knowing what to do, of Stan not knowing what to do because everything sounds like arse, and he somehow gets roped into this society of cynics who all believe to have Asperger's, but really they see the world for how it really is. And the way you see the world for what it really is you get absolutely pissed on Jameson's whiskey or something silly like that. And it's kind of funny. There's some really good moments in it. I did like it, especially when he comes in pretending to do the Matrix, pissed off his face, falling everywhere and shooting guns, and nobody knows what's happening. And then Cartman's got this whole side story of putting burgers up his ass because he thinks that's what Asperger's is. And he ends up opening this little restaurant, and it kind of fizzles out there, so it's not the greatest of episodes, but it's still entertaining enough to make you chuckle. There's a couple of funny quotes that are escaping me right now, but it's paved the way for something hopefully pretty cool. I was hoping they were gonna, completely change the formula, maybe grow the boys up so that they're older or something, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, and if it does, it's probably going to be called something else, because just look at Friends. It went from Friends to that Joey program, and in my opinion they both sucked ass, but apparently that Joey program was even worse. But that is the end of Mission 5, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next batch, and you take care now.